Welcome to EPG Pathshala. As we all know that information and communication technology, that is ICT, has revolutionized each and every area aspect of the world. We have something known as moving on from traditional classrooms to the conventional classrooms, moving on from student-centered approach. And in this particular era, we will be talking about learning which takes place through computers. We need to understand that today technology is nothing but our friend. Today, we are not restricted only to the four walls of classroom to gain education. Remember, we are in the world where we are revolutionized by the presence of internet. We can't even imagine 1 minute without internet. 1 minute without accessing, reading, hunting for informations for our projects. This is nothing but e-learning. In this particular aspect, we shall be enlightening ourselves with what exactly is e-learning and how things are revolutionized, changing, and how education is now available not just for students who can come and sit in the classrooms, but also for students who are away from the classrooms due to many valid reasons. Here, we shall be throwing light on the components, the meanings of e-learning. Let us first of all look at the definitions of e-learning. E-learning refers to the delivery of learning, training, or education program by electronic means. E-learning refers to electronic applications and processes to learn. E-learning is a type of education where the medium of instruction is computer technology. E-learning is also called as distributed learning or distance learning or technology-enabled learning. We can define it also as instructional content or learning experiences delivered or enabled by the electronic technology. It is a structured, interactive approach to educate and inform students, employees, etc. E-learning refers not just to technology-driven learning, but also enabling learning through internet and World Wide Web. Modern-day cutting-edge education and communication technologies provide opportunities for anytime, anywhere learning, where learners as well as the instructors can interact beyond any geographic boundaries and collaborate to get maximum benefit of the global network, which is none other than internet and other computers and information technologies. E-learning environment makes use of networking technologies to create, foster, and deliver learning content and services anytime and anywhere. Any e-learning environment can be CD-based, it could also be network-based, could be intranet-based or internet-based. It enables the inclusion of text along with audio, video, animation, as well as virtual environment in learning. It provides a rich learning experience that far surpasses the level of learning and training being imparted in any crowded classroom. It provides for a self-paced and hands-on learning. That is the entire funda behind e-learning. In any learning environment, the content and the services being provided for the delivery of this content are the prime importance. E-learning, unlike any other form of learning, for example, classroom learning environment makes use of sophisticated software and ICT hardware to provide an immersing and enriching experience to students and motivating their creativity and imaginations. Let us now understand where exactly e-learning is born and where it has reached now, focusing on the history of e-learning. The term e-learning has only been in existence since 1999. Long before the internet was launched, distance courses were being offered to provide students with education on particular subjects or skills. In the 1840s, Isaac Pitman taught his pupils shorthand via correspondence. This form of symbolic writing was designed to improve writing speed and was popular amongst secretaries, journalists, and other individuals who did a great deal of note-taking or writing. Pitman, who was a qualified teacher, was sent completed assignments by mail, and he would then send his students more work to be finalized using the same system. In the 1924, the first testing machine was invented. This device allowed students to test themselves. Then, in the 1954, B.F. Skinner, that is, a Harvard professor invented the teaching machine which enabled schools to administer the programmed instruction to their students. It wasn't until 1960, however, that the first computer-based training program was introduced to the world. This computer-based training program, which is also known as CBT program, was known as Plato. That means Programmed Logic for Automated Teaching Operations. It was originally designed for students attending the University of Illinois, but ended up being used in schools throughout the area. The first e-learning systems were really only set up to deliver information to students. But as we have now entered the eras of 70s, e-learning started to become more interactive. In Britain, the Open University was keen to take advantage of e-learning. Their system of education has always been primarily focused on learning at a distance. In the past, if we see, course materials were delivered by post and correspondence with tutors via email. With the internet, the Open University began to offer a wide range of interactive educational experiences as well as faster correspondence with students via email. With the introduction of the computer and the internet in the late 20th century, e-learning tools and delivery methods have expanded immensely. The first Mac in the 1980s enabled individuals to have computers in their homes, making it easier for them to learn about particular subjects and develop certain skill sets. Then, in the following decade, virtual learning environments began to thrive truly, with people gaining access to a wealth of online information and e-learning opportunities. By the early 90s, several schools had been set up which delivered courses online, making the most of the internet and bringing education to people who wouldn't previously have been able to attend the college due to geographical issues or maybe time constraint. Technological advancements also helped educational establishments reduce the cost of distance learning or savings that would also be passed on to the students, helping bring education to a wider audience. In the 2000s, business began using e-learning to train their employees. New and experienced workers alike now had the opportunity to improve upon their industry knowledge base and expand their set of skills. At home, individuals were granted access to programs that offered them the ability to earn online degrees and enrich their lives through expanded knowledge. At present, second-generation e-learning has arrived. E-learning is the concept used in education related to computer technology. Indeed, we have reached a far place with the help of technology. After having understood the concept of e-learning, let us now move to the characteristics of e-learning. 1. Delivery of digital content. Computer technology has minimized the load of books, textbooks, notebooks, papers. The learning material is well stored in the technology itself. It can be used at any time, any place, anywhere. 2. E-learning. The use of computer or electronic device. That means e-learning makes use of wide range of electronic devices and instructional materials like the CD-ROM, DVD, internet, intranet web facilities, etc. Third, distance learning. E-learning is especially meant for distance learning. It goes beyond the traditional learning system. It is a self-paced, anytime, any place educational system. Fourth, faster response time. There can be real-time interactions between the learners and the instructor, which is beneficial to the learner. So here, the instructor or the student need not really come and sit face-to-face with each other, but they are indeed face-to-face with the help of technology. Next, quick and easy updating of course content. The learner can now easily update the information with the latest version of the material which is quickly available to them. Next, interaction with an expert. The students can incorporate threaded discussion to discuss courseworks with their peers and a messaging system for asking questions with the experts. Last characteristic, customized course content. In e-learning, instructional material can be tailored to meet the particular needs of syllabus and students. With all the above characteristics, we are now convinced that e-learning is indeed changing the face of education. Let us now understand and move further to the need of e-learning. Why do we exactly need to learn something using technology? Does that mean that we're gonna change or flip our classroom or daily traditional classroom teaching? Not really. Academic and professional organizations agree that using e-learning environments can offer sound pedagogical benefits. 1. To enhance communication. It is very important that we need e-learning to enhance communication. Enhancing student-to-student and faculty-to-student communication, web-based education tools provide many ways to increase communication between the class members, faculty, including discussion boards, chats, and emails. Researchers have found that adding these elements to a course increases student motivation, participation in class discussions, and projects. Students are more willing to participate and measure of anonymity, which serves as a motivator. People feel more empowered. Second point, to provide equal opportunities. Students experience a sense of equality. Another benefit of using web-based communication tool is to give all the students a reinforced sense of equality. Each individual has the same opportunity to speak up by posting up messages without typical distractions such as sitting arrangements, volume of student voice, gender biases, etc. Shy and anxious students feel more comfortable expressing their ideas and breaking up facts when posting online instead of speaking in the daily classroom. Students prove that online discussions provoke more confrontational and direct communication between the students. Third, to accommodate different learning styles. An instructor can also present these materials in many formats to accommodate the different styles of learning. For example, if an instructor puts both lecture notes and slides online, both visual and auditory learners benefit out of it. Students who prefer to focus on listening, watching during the lecture do not have to worry about what they are missing important concepts while scrambling down the notes. They can focus on understanding the material and concepts as they are presented. Students with attention difficulties or those who get overwhelmed by the organizational tasks are also benefited because these materials provided show how the instructor has grouped and prepared these materials in handouts and indicate what items are most important. Next, provide additional learning experiences, reflective experiences. When students participate in online discussions, as students are exposed to an extra period of rehearsals. Typically, students rehearse information when they study for exams or complete their assignments. However, they also rehearse information when formulating thoughts into sentences and typing those thoughts into the computer. When instructors post discussion questions or essay assignments in the online portion of a course, students must attend to and reflect on the subject matter before responding. This results in reflection and articulation of content. Remove reliance on physical attendance. In traditional education, students now can work in group projects and can coordinate schedules. Next, continuous comprehensive evaluation. Providing just-in-time methods to access and evaluate students' progress is the basic need of e-learning. Learner assessments are essential in education. Tests and surveys inform that the instructors, whether teaching methods and course structures, are successful or not. These assessments also determine if students' progress is satisfactory. Online assessment tools provide instructors with many ways to build, to distribute, and to compile information quickly and easily. Last point, to provide continuous reinforcement. Frequent assessment provides concept and continuous reinforcement, which not only increases motivation of the teachers but also students. Instructors can post practice exams and end of chapter reviews without worrying about finding the time and resources to analyze the results. Students can easily access these assessments at any time, privately and in comfort of their home. Since grading is computerized, students receive immediate feedback. This may also help students who suffer from test anxiety relax and minimize their embarrassment for those that do poorly, reducing amount of faculty time spent on the administrative. All the above are the needs of e-learning. Let us now move forward and see the advantages of e-learning. 1. It is less expensive. E-learning makes use of authoring software to produce asynchronous learning content. Once the complete learning content is ready, costs virtually reduce to zero after reaching break-even point. Synchronous programs have continued cost associated with instructor managing the class, but these costs are still lower than the traditional courses. As you aren't using a trainer's time or any room or any equipment for that matter, e-learning tends to be the much cheaper option. If you already have a device capable of carrying out the learning on, then the savings can be done considerably. Classroom training involves a lot of expenses, those from teaching, commuting, traveling, learning material, and many others. Teleeducation would, in comparison, cut the cost on an average 30 to 50%. E-learning does not require time to learners for traveling, which immediately cuts off their travel expenses and provides comfort at the place wherever they are. In addition, you don't even need to have a budget for any instructor to deliver each session, or a venue, or any other miscellaneous cost such as refreshments or renting special equipment like overhead projectors, classroom areas, etc. Second point, it is self-paced. E-learning provides the benefit of self-paced learning. People learn differently and at varying speeds, but an in-person group session is a one-size-fit-for-all. E-learning gives the learner complete control over their rate of learning and lets them spend as much time or as little time as needed for each section. This gives the learner the freedom to spend more time on the sections they are struggling with and less time on those they find easier to grasp. In this way, not only is e-learning more efficient and effective, but it prevents faster learners from becoming bored and losing interest, while simultaneously supporting those who are struggling. The course material is available online anywhere in the world, so learners can leverage their time to access their course content and study. It also provides the opportunity for learners to flexibly choose individual course modules that suit their own time availability and learning pace. 3. Faster learning. E-learning courses progress faster than the traditional courses. This is partly because the individualized approach allows learners to skip the material they already know and understand and move on the issues that they need to focus. 4. Consistency in the study material and reliable. In regular classroom teaching environment, there's hardly any consistency in study material being distributed to the learners. Each time an instructor conducts in-person learning, it's going to be slightly different here. Whether the instructor misses out some information or spends extra time on a certain subject or is simply more enthusiastic and motivated on a particular day, no instructor can guarantee a complete consistent experience. By contrast, e-learning is always consistent, and since you can revise your content until you're happy with every detail, you can be confident that you are delivering the best possible version of your course every time. Hence, it is more reliable to deliver content in e-learning environment. Next, anywhere, anytime learning. E-learners can attend large learning sections anywhere. This just-in-time benefit can make learning possible for people who have never been able to work because of their daily schedules. Next, course content can be easily updated. Online e-learning provide easy and up-to-date learning course material. For example, CD-ROM based programs may be slightly more expensive to update and distribute, but still some cheaper than reprinting manuals and retraining the instructors. Next, it reduces time. E-learning reduces institutional expense for both the cost and time associated with copying, collating, and distributing these materials. Instructors can also use email to send messages directly to the students. Not only does this ensure that students receive the materials, but it is also environmentally appealing. They do not have to spend time walking across the campus and to reach the students. Everything just happens online. Next, make students techno-savvy. E-learning helps an added bonus of developing the learner's computer skills, particularly for learners who don't regularly use computers or have beginning level computer skills. Next, better retention. E-learning facilitates the inclusion of various audiovisual effects without the learning material. Furthermore, there is possibility for learners to revisit or replay the sections that they might to listen anytime, anywhere. Next, it's flexible. E-learning offers over in-person learning, which means that they can complete the learning at their own time. This makes e-learning easy to fit around the learner's schedule. Next, e-learning is mobile. As e-learning can be done on laptops, tablets, phones, it is very mobile. Whilst you used to confine to the classroom, the whole world can now be your classroom. Now we shall move further to some disadvantages or limitations of e-learning. Motivation can be a problem. Making the learner responsible for their own learning has its own advantages, but there are some disadvantages also. Firstly, e-learning is more reliant on the learner's motivation and time management than in-person learning. So those who struggle in these areas can lag behind. Next point, lack of face-to-face interaction. An important part of traditional classroom is the opportunity that participants get to learn from discussions and debate. When there's a lack of interaction in e-learning, this transfer of information is lost, which can have a very negative impact on the motivation of the learners. Next, lack of control. Learners with low motivation tend to fall behind when using e-learning, as there are no set times to be doing it and they are responsible for organizing themselves. A lack of routine or fixed schedule can mean e-learning becomes complicated with various deadlines often given to different people at different stages. Next, learning approach. It doesn't appeal to all learning styles. To some learners will not enjoy this experience, especially strong activists and pragmatists. It is a very much challenging task that e-learning will appeal or might not appeal to different styles of learning. Next, isolated. A lot of questions are a lot easily answered when face to face with someone in a traditional classroom. But in e-learning does not allow that, with learners learning often having to answer numerous questions all the time and only doing it within that hours, where a lot of learners may prefer doing learning out of the working hours. This feeling of isolation can often demotivate students and individuals, as they feel they don't have the support and reassurance that the physical presence of a trainer provides. Next, technology issues. With heavy reliance on computers that e-learning brings comes the potential risk that comes with it. Firstly, you need to ensure that all learners have a device that is able to support the learning modules. Some e-learning tools require software such as Flash that devices like iPads don't support. So all requirements need to be set out at the beginning itself. Poor internet connection, unavoidable general random failures can interrupt the learning, which means that they can complete the learning at their own time. This makes e-learning easy to fit around the learner's schedule at all. Therefore, even the software is user-friendly. The very idea of using software can be very daunting and demotivating for some. Therefore, these learners are likely to learn a little less as compared to the physical course. Having seen in detail what exactly e-learning is and how it works, what are its advantages, what are its disadvantages, we now take a plunge that yes, no matter what, we are now not going to be missing any point in education. But it also does not mean that technology can overpower or can switch the existing traditional classroom culture. No doubt, technology has revolutionized this time, but we really need the presence of the teacher, the physical instructor in front of us. Let us all say that technology is very friendly to all of us, and let us educate and use it furthermore for better learning and better teaching. Thank you so much.